thought we'd focus on giving material things. And within the practice of giving, even within the practice of giving material things, what Buddha means by giving is not necessarily physically giving, even when we're talking about material things. It's not necessarily physically giving. In Buddhism, giving is a virtuous decision to give, or it's a virtuous thought to give. It is, if you will, an experience of our heart. We could also think of it as a state of mind, because we can always be giving. Even if we're by ourselves, we can be giving. We can give, even if we think we have nothing materially to give, we can also give. We can continue our practice of giving. And it's the key to the development of our spiritual life, because all Buddhas arise from 6 basic perfections. The perfections of giving, moral discipline, patience, effort, concentration, and wisdom. They all arise from these 6 practices. So that means all happiness arises from these 6 practices. This is where all happiness comes from, because Buddhas abide in a state of complete, unending, permanent happiness. So if they arise from these 6 practices, then all happiness also arises from these 6 practices. And as we'll see today, that includes what we can think of as worldly or temporary happiness, like worldly pleasures, also arise from these 6 practices. But ultimately, the deepest experiences of happiness and inner peace arise from these 6 practices. And within that list, within the list of the 6 perfections, giving is number 1. And there's a reason for this, as we shall see. But giving is number 1. Giving is number 1 in terms of our temporary happiness. We can think of as ordinary wealth. And it's also the first in terms of our spiritual wealth, our spiritual development. By the way, this is hot water. Somebody once said during another class, that is the biggest mug of coffee I've ever seen. It's not coffee, it's just hot water.